Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is TWiT.
Audio bandwidth for the Daily GizWiz is provided by Winamp. Subscribe to the Daily GizWiz and all your favorite podcasts with the ultimate media player. Download it for free at winamp.com. Video bandwidth for the Daily GizWiz is provided by CacheFly at CacheFly.com. It's time for the Daily GizWiz with Mad's maddest writer, Dick DeBartolo. This is episode 1235 for Friday, December 3rd, 2010, the Lumatec Octopus. The Daily GizWiz is brought to you by MailRoute, a secure hosted service with enterprise-grade virus and spam filtering for companies of any size. For more information and to save 10%, visit mailroute.info.
And now, get ready for Dick.
If you visit New York, I beg you beware of a rundown old building in Manhattan where all manner of gadgets and gizmo reside. They come to the GizWiz in order to hide from all of those folks who would see them destroyed, be they a Newton or even a droid. But if you be brave, you may come in and browse the items on the shelves in Dick's Gadget Warehouse.
They're geeky and they're goofy, together they are loopy. When gadgets pass away, he takes them out to play in Dick's Gadget Warehouse.
And now, here is Dick DeBartolo.
Leo, how you doing, pal?
I am well, and I thank Edward Hansen of Rexton, New Brunswick, Canada, for that poem.
Indeed we do.
He says it's been quite a while since I've emailed either of you because the last time I wrote, I sent you a poem that was, let's face it, about as far away from good as you can get, which is why it fit us perfectly.
That's all kind of work.
Yeah. And just the slightest bit, he says, embarrassing. Oh, you'll get over that.
Yeah, no. That's the one thing we've gotten over is being embarrassed.
I don't think we've ever been embarrassed. So I gave it a fair bit of thought, and I think I've come up with something that doesn't suck anywhere near as badly. Anywhere he goes nuttin'. And you heard the poem, and actually I thought it was quite good, maybe the best we've ever had. He says, I hope you like it, and it meets with your incredibly high standards. Oh, he's confusing us with somebody else. That's embarrassing.
Yeah. High standards.
Yeah. Of course, there's more. Of course, if you think it's garbage, then feel free to destroy this message and purge it from your memory. Yours in gadgetry, Edward Hansen, Reston, New Brunswick, Canada.
No, if it wasn't good, MailRoute would not have let it get through.
That's right. That's exactly right. That's the best test.
The first test.
You know, that would be good. I'll have to get Tom to work on his bad GizWiz poetry filter.
That's good. That's a good idea. You know, before this leaves the screen, Sea Baggage says episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is going to be December 19th, 2016.
Really? That's all?
Yeah. We'll be around for that, right?
Yeah. Yesterday, people probably remember we did episode 1, 2, 3, 4, and we were wondering when that would happen, you know, anything like it. And so 2016, that's only 6 years.
Yeah, I know.
How many years? This is our 4th year?
This is our 6th year.
No. What are you, nuts?
I'm quite sure. I think we started February 2005.
So we're coming up on our 6th year. You're absolutely right. Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So we can easily make it to 2016. We're halfway there.
Next week. We'll make it by next week. Well, we're going to do 130 of them today. So by
I'll tell you, we crank these things out faster than a cat can crank out a coffee bean. It is just
pounds of amazing.
We're about half as valuable.
Don't flush that toilet. Oh no, that's $89 worth.
They ground some up for me. We're talking about the cat's butt coffee. They ground some up for me, and Alex took great pains that it not be wasted. So he's put it in a Ziploc bag, and in case somebody might accidentally consume it, he has labeled it Leo's Cat's Ass Coffee. So I don't think there's much chance of anybody.
No,
in fact, I'm going to put that on anything I don't want
anybody
want to drink. Now, I unfortunately, whoever did that calculation that we would be at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by 2016 is a little bit off. It didn't pass the laugh test. Laugh Hubert says, wait a minute, you're doing, what, 250 episodes a year? Yeah, maybe 260, because I don't think we take time off. He said, well, that means you have to do 11,000 new episodes. That will take you around 44 years.
Oh.
I will be 97. 98.
Drinking that coffee, you might be 130 and still going strong.
It's time for the GizWiz. And here he is, Dickie D.
Leo, I'm not here anymore.
Dick's dead.
I'm in my seer.
But he's in the water. But we can imagine what he might say.
I don't know. Do you think? I don't know. I can't see myself making it to 97. Maybe I will. I'd be happy.
Oh, yeah. What are you kidding? Of course you're going to make it to 97.
And I was thinking about this.
Yeah.
And I know that, in the normal course of events, people work, and at the age of 65, they retire. But see, you didn't, and I think that I don't think I will either. I think that if you do something you love, the last thing in the world you want to do is stop doing it, even if you're, retirement age.
When I was a kid, the old folks would say, when I turn 65, I'm going to sit on the back porch, I'm going to put my feet up, and I'm not going to move a muscle.
Right.
And then I watched them die off rather quickly, one after the other. And
That's
I thought,
really true.
Why in the world would anybody retire?
Yeah.
And you're right. First of all, I think we both really like what we do.
Retirement is what you do when you don't want to do what you're doing, but I can't imagine doing anything else.
No, absolutely the same. And as we now know, that doing things you love and being energetic and having a sense of humor and doing new things, these all keep the brain going and the body going. And that's all the key to the health. It's like a win-win thing.
Right.
I think that coffee's going to kill you, but your career is not.
Well, what the correlative of that is, this is the other thought I had as I'm thinking this is, so that means that I will only stop doing this when I'm told I have to.
But you're the boss. Unless you develop a split personality and tell yourself to stop
I'm the boss, but at some point I can see, okay, because I'm the boss, it's pretty much guaranteed I'm going to go past the point where I should have stopped. Where it's actually going to be painful.
The chat room won't let that happen.
Well, that's my point, is that for at least a week, a month, a year, I will continue to the show after the point beyond which I should have stopped. And at that point, the chat room is going to say, dude, you really ought to stop.
Yeah. You mean the one person who's in the chat room?
The last guy left. It'll be Jammer B.
Yeah.
Leo, we've been doing this a long time together. But I think it's time to stop. I'm so tired.
You know what'll happen?
Yeah.
They'll say, Leo, you've jumped the shark. The problem is they say that now. They say that all the time. So how am I supposed to know?
No, I think they're saying you sat on the cat. You jumped the shark.
I know what we need. We need a safe word so that when it's time to give it up, they will say the safe word. But the problem now, folks, now listen in the chat room. I'm talking to you. You mustn't say the safe word until it's time for me to retire. So what should we make the safe word be?
Hello?
No. Something that they wouldn't use. Lobster. That would normally come up in conversation. So until they all say lobster, I shall continue to this show.
I would take something a little more obscure than that. How about anvil?
Anvil. Well, look, they're all saying lobster.
You see? Okay.
So
Well,
now I don't
it.
know. Does this mean now? You want me to stop now? But I still have the Friday show to do.
They're joshing with you.
They're
If they were
teasing
really
me.
serious that you should retire, they would say anvil.
Okay.
But they're not.
Not lobster. So
They're
no.
saying
Okay.
spork.
Now look, they're
there's
saying
an
anvil.
Lobster anvil.
Dick, what's your warehouse?
Oh, well, you've been like a house of fire this week, guessing things correctly. All right. So
All right.
the gadget was about 8 years ago from the company. Let's start with the company, Lumatec.
Lumatec.
And they make.
Wait a minute.
Lumatec
I think they're from right down the road here in Petaluma. Lumatec. Okay.
And what do they make? What was their category?
Lumatec. Their category is lighting fixtures.
Good. Okay, that's close enough. Okay. The product that they made and no longer make was the Lumatec Octopus.
Oh, it's for checking a cat's butt.
No, it's for checking 8 butts.
8.
No. Okay. Any second guess?
Okay, the octopus.
Lumatec?
It is. Yeah, no, I know what that is. Actually, I know.
Okay.
I do know what that is. So they make, you've probably seen the LED lights that are on a gooseneck so that you can reach around corners or look into things.
Yeah.
Occasionally it happens that you need to have 8 of those. So so you can see around 8 corners all at once. And that's what that is. It's 8 goosenecks, each with an LED lamp at the top of it. That's the Lumatec Octopus.
Okay, so you were good at the beginning.
Yeah, I was right.
You're right, and now you're a train wreck.
Oh,
No, this is good. Okay, so the Lumatec Octopus, which I still own, was a screwdriver.
Yes.
That had 4 slot pull-outs and 4 Phillips pull-outs, and at the very center, an LED light. So that when you had to put a screw in a lock or something, the LED light would pretty much shine on where the screwdriver had to go to turn the screw. Now, it wasn't dead on because it'd be great if they could shoot the light down the middle of the screwdriver, but they can't. So it was a little bit above where the actual driver was, but it was still a good idea. Such a good idea that even though they don't make it, I did a web search. And there's a company called meritline.com, and they make a lighted screwdriver that goes one step further. It has an LED that shines down toward the screwdriver tip, but the top of it has a regular screwdriver. So in case you don't need to be using any of the Phillips or the slot heads, you can just use this little device as a regular flashlight.
I like this. That's a very handy device.
So the octopus is dead. The lighted screwdriver lives on, screwing and illuminating our lives.
I knew there was a coda.
I don't know.
A coda to that fine bit. So there it is. That's after the screwing and illuminating. A little kiss, just a little. Mwah. Thank you, Octopus. I do want to mention briefly, and then we will get to our letter of the day, my friend Tom Johnson, who does mailroute.info. You've been there, perhaps. It is, if you haven't, check it out. It is the company I use to prevent spam. Dvorak was always saying, I don't get any spam, and I wasn't going to say anything. But I know how to get rid of spam. And not only spam, but the viruses that often come with email. And I've been doing it since 2004, long before Dvorak knew anything about it. It's mailroute.info. Now, if you run your own domain, if you run your own email server, you've got to have some sort of anti-spam solution. I outsource it. It's very affordable to Tom Johnson at mailroute.info. Check it out. You can try it for free. They have a special TWiT deal, 10% off for life if you decide you want it. Individual accounts are available, but it really is for the person who runs a server and wants to block all the email. And I'll just give you an idea. 97% of the email that comes to leoville.com is spam. And I never see it. It never gets to my server because of MailRoute. It's so great. If you could change your MX record, you can use MailRoute. Find out more at mailroute.info. 10% off, mailroute.info. Give it a try. And now a letter to the GizWiz.
And the letter comes from Lee Gordon, who writes, "My name is Lee." This letter may
Really?
yeah. This letter may appear a little disjointed, but I hope it lands in the right place. I was listening to one of the episodes that you recorded with Leo Laporte, and it got to reminding me of a couple of things that happened quite a long time ago. First, I actually met you, Dick D. My father had the distribution rights to Mad Magazine in South Africa.
Wow.
And took me on a couple of trips to the States with him.
Neat.
I visited Mad Magazine, met Bill Gaines, met you, Dick D, Sergio, Dave Berg, met Don Martin. But that's not the real reason I'm writing this. You talked about the game. Leo, I have never gotten so many emails about the most obscure thing. You talked about the game Buck Buck.
Oh, man. Have we gotten a lot of email on Buck Buck?
Well, this is a traditional South African spelling.
Oh.
We spell it B-O-K, B-O-K.
You know, that might make more sense because it's named after the Springbok.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, no, it's Springbok fall ahead, isn't it? You mean daylight saving?
Fall back, spring ahead.
Spring ahead.
Spring forward, fall back.
Yeah, that was it.
It's named after Fallbach.
Fallbach. Yeah.
No, but the Springbok, B-O-K, is a gazelle-like animal endemic to South Africa.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. This is the animal that sells used electronics to. That gazelle, right?
No.
Okay.
No.
Anyway, our Buck Buck is played pretty much the same way you play it, with the anchor standing against the wall. The first kid bends forward, places his head in the crotch of the anchor. The next kids do the same.
Yeah.
Until they form a big wall. But this is the amazing part.
There's an amazing part? Wow.
Yes.
Yes.
This game proved to be quite a popular sport on the playgrounds, and it was quite common to see 60 or more kids forming a wall until one of the participants buckled or collapsed.
It sounds like fun, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eventually, the game was banned by school authorities because kids ended up getting hurt pretty badly.
Yeah.
When the older and bigger kids would jump on their back.
And that was the point of the Bill Cosby routine. That's, in fact, where Fat Albert was introduced, because he was 2,000 pounds, and he would squish kids.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I love to play Buck Buck.
Also,
though,
okay.
the
You do great
Springbok.
voices. Yeah, I love that.
They also call it Johnny on a Pony.
Yes, that's what we call it in Brooklyn, Johnny on a Pony. Oh, and which I never understood, because none of the gang was Johnny and there was no pony. Anyway, the biggest game I ever saw had 75 to 80 kids involved. Until I heard the broadcast, I never thought about Buck Buck since the time I left primary school. Your broadcast with Leo took me right back there. Thanks so much for the memories, Lee Gordon. So there you go.
This is from the Dictionary of American Regional English.
Yeah.
Buck Buck, also known as How Many Up, Johnny on a Pony. You could find this in 1899 in Champlin Young Folks Games, page 120. Buck, a game played by two-person, one of whom places his arms around his breast or rests them on his knees and bends forward, resting his head against a fence, tree, or wall. This is called giving a back. The other player sits astride of the back of the first and, holding up one or more fingers, says, "Buck, Buck, how many horns do I hold up?" The buck is sometimes blindfolded, and this sounds filthy, and a third person often acts as umpire to see if there is fair play. In another form of the game, the child hides his head in another's lap, and the latter says, "Mingledy, mingledy, clap, clap, clap. How many fingers do I hold up?" So much for Dictionary of American
I bet there's
Regional
no app
English.
for that.
There's an app for that. Wow.
The lap app.
Well, folks, we encourage you all to play Johnny in Mommy's Lap over the weekend and get back to us about how that worked out for you. We're going to take the day
And this
off.
has been brought to you by the Chiropractors of America Foundation.
Really? Wow. Wow.
Get out there and jump on someone's back.
Well, sir, I will bid you adieu. However, I shall return on the morrow, actually on the Monday, for yet another fine daily GizWiz. Have a great weekend.
I'll be here.
DAILY.